Good morning and welcome to our daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn. Very glad to have you with us on this Friday morning, March the 21st, 2025. We've been studying this week Luke chapter 13, verses 1 through 9. And the last part of this passage is the parable of the barren fig tree, and I'd like to look at that passage again today and offer a few reflections that I hope that you'll find helpful. So this is Luke chapter 13, verses 6. Then he told this parable. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came looking for fruit on it and found none. So he said to the gardener, "See here, for 3 years I've come looking for fruit on this fig tree, and still I find none. Cut it down. Why should it be wasting the soil?" He replied, "Sir, let it alone for 1 more year until I dig around it and put manure on it. If it bears fruit next year, well and good. But if not, you can cut it down." Well, I feel the weight of this parable is maybe a little bit difficult for those of us who live in the city. Um, this is, of course, an agrarian culture dominated by agrarian concerns and agricultural concerns. The very life of the people depended upon how well things grew, and they knew that they were very dependent upon the rains and affected by droughts. And those sorts of things don't affect us quite as much. Of course, they do some, but not quite as much. And so this story of a tree that's not bearing fruit would be much more concerning in that context than it would be today, because the family would be dependent. It would be one of the things they'd be very dependent upon, either for income or for something to eat. So I think it carries a lot more weight in an agrarian culture than it does uh, with us here. And particularly, you notice this idea of, we could plant something else there. It's wasting, it's taking up space. We could plant something else that would grow. So the issue here is not aesthetics, which it might be for us. We plant things in our yards here because they look good. Even a fruit tree, we like them, of course, but if it doesn't produce fruit, it's not too big of a deal. That's not true here. This is a really big deal. Um, and then I think one of the issues here that's so important is the gardener's plea for 1 more year. Um, this is really good, I think, especially, and I think can be understood in our context fairly well, and that is having more opportunities to produce fruit, or um, to be um, more present in our communities, with our families, to be um, to be able to love people, to connect with them, to support them, to pray for them, um, to have another year to be able to do this, and perhaps in the lives of some of us, maybe to do a better job of it than we did the previous year, and to focus more on the things that matter the most. That is, meeting the concerns of those who are in need, and not spending so much time on other things that are not as important. Um, so another year, another more opportunities to be um, to be productive in our communities. There's something merciful and gracious about that, and I pray that we're all given another year to be our best. Let's close with this word of prayer from W.E. Orchard. Great Shepherd of thy people, who knows all and calls us by that secret name which unlocks the heart to thy presence, we are folded together and wait for thy coming. Take us one by one and shut us in with thyself. Light in every heart some overwhelming vision of thyself. Draw us apart to be with thee. Oftentimes thou hast called us, but our ears have been dulled with other cries. Now make us deaf to every voice but thine. We are each one living alone, despite our friendship and our common life. We have feared to walk in desert places. We have loved the garish day. We have been afraid to be left alone with ourselves, lest long stifled voices should speak something we dreaded to hear. We've been afraid of thee, afraid because we do not truly know thee. Thou hast been to us as the darkness is to children, as the dread unknown to the fearful and untraveled soul. Come to us through the silence. In the night, meet us in the desert, or if we shun the lonely way, meet us in the crowd. Reveal thyself in the intercourse of life. Speak above the tumult in thunder to our souls. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope that you have a very good day. Goodbye.